guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who haven't visited my channel before, my name is Kayleigh and I am a beauty and fashion photographer based in Australia. And today I have a very new series for you guys. So I'm so excited today to announce that I will be doing a new series called a photography brief challenge. Now, there's a lot of rules that are going to go along with this, so I'm going to make it as simplified as I can for you guys, but it is a challenge series. For you guys that have watched my channel over the years, you might know that I do like to challenge myself from time to time, and sometimes it's in not very nice ways. You might remember a couple of years ago in 2018 when I set myself a 52-week challenge of photographing and doing 52 shoots in a year. And I did this at a time where I was traveling around the world for about 3 or 4 months. So I don't know why I decided to do that in that year. I always question my decision to do that, but this challenge series is going to be a little bit like that. I want to challenge myself. I want to better my portfolio. As photographers, I think we all do. So I thought that this could be an interesting way to do that. So how this is going to work is I'm actually going to be using a random generator online to help me pick what my photography brief is going to be. So I only have a very small amount of control over what my photography brief is actually going to be. And the reason I'm doing it this way is because as photographers and as working photographers, a lot of the time this is how it works. We don't always know what our photography brief is going to be when it's given to us by a client or a magazine. Depending on what it is, you just usually don't know what it's going to be. So this is kind of part of the fun of it, and it's kind of part of the challenge too. So I've actually broken down the brief into 4 categories, and this is what the random generator is going to pick online. So first off, it is either going to be an editorial style or a commercial style shoot. That's the first category. The second category is going to be the product that I'll be having a focus on within the brief. So with each of these videos in the series, I will be focusing on a product in particular, whether that be skincare, cosmetics, shoes, jewelry. There's a whole list that I'm actually going to put into the generator, and it's going to pick it out for me. So once again, I don't have a lot of control over that, and I will be styling the shoots myself, so this is also going to be very interesting. The third category is going to be the style of shoot that I'm going to have. So it could be a grungy style shoot, it could be very elegant, it could be ethereal. It's going to be more of a descriptive word to help me describe how the shoot should look overall, and that's going to really help me when it comes time for me to make my mood board of the shoot as well, so I've got something to go by. So once again, the online generator will be picking this. I don't really have much control over that, and it could be very interesting in how these categories come up. And then the final category, the fourth category, is going to be the location. So for the moment, I'm going to leave this as studio or on location or outdoors. So I feel like this is going to help me out a little bit within the first couple of videos of the series, because it'll really help with my resources that I currently have, and especially at this time of year too, with people's availability and things like that. So I'm going to keep it pretty simple there, but as I go along with this series, I'm going to increasingly make it harder for myself. So I'm going to add in different locations, I'm going to add in different products, and I'm going to add in different styles of shoot to the generator. So hopefully it'll really come up with some wacky style photo shoot briefs for me to do. But without further rambling, I'm going to get straight into this video now, and I'm going to go onto the generator now, and it is going to pick my photo shoot for the first video of this series. So hopefully it's not going to be too difficult, and hopefully it's not going to be too crazy, but we'll see what it comes up with. Okay, so we are now on the random result webpage, and I'm just going to flick over to my brief challenge details. So this is my list of everything that I've included under those 4 categories. So I've got the editorial, commercial, I've got the list of products that I'm going to put into the generator, the list of styles of shoots, so I've actually got decades in there as well, just to make it even more interesting, and lots of different descriptive words: retro, bright, dark, clean, minimal, bold. So it's how I guess I interpret this brief as well once it's given to me, which is going to be interesting. And then I've got the location as studio or on location / outdoors. So I'm going to go for the category first of editorial or commercial. So let's see whether we get editorial or commercial. And I'm going to draw this now and see what we get. Okay, so we've got an editorial. I've talked a lot about editorial versus commercial on my YouTube channel before, but editorial is definitely going to have more looks, and it's definitely going to have more flow within the imagery. So we're really going to be telling a story with editorial. Commercial's a little bit different. You're really focusing on the product there, and you're really wanting to sell that. That's the main purpose of commercial photography, whereas editorial, we're sort of looking at more of a storyline and theme behind it. So I'm really going to have to think hard about this, but that's cool. So we know we're doing an editorial shoot. Now I'm going to put the products into the generator. And the way I'm going to do this is you'll see that the sequence will say sequence 1, 2, 3, 4 for each of the categories. So you guys know that I'm not going back and redoing anything. So let's put in these categories for the products and let's draw this out now. Okay, so we've got fashion. I feel like out of all the products to focus on, that's actually a pretty good one for me. I think fashion we can work with, although I would say that I haven't done a lot of fashion photography over the last couple of years. The majority of it has been beauty, so it is a little bit more of a challenge for me to do fashion over a lot of other potential products like jewelry or skincare and things that I have been doing already. So we know we're doing an editorial shoot where we're going to be focusing on the fashion. This is actually going to make it really hard for me, I've just realized, because I will be styling it myself. I won't have a stylist on board. So this is going to be interesting. Anyway, we'll go on to the style of the shoot now. So this is the part that I'm really looking forward to because this is going to give it, I guess, that theme overall. Okay, so we are going to draw this out and see what we get for the style of shoot. Wild. That's what I have to run with here. All right, so this is going to be really interesting. I have to do an editorial fashion shoot with a wild kind of theme. So I guess craziness. Yeah, I'm really going to have to think very hard about this and make sure that my mood board's very themed. And for the last category, we're going to find out whether it's going to be shot on location or in studio. So let's see what we come up with here. Let's see how we go with this. Okay, studio. All right, so I have to do an editorial fashion shoot with a wild theme, and it's got to be in studio. I was actually hoping it was going to be on location because I felt like if it was going to be a kind of like a wild theme, I could really have the model like outdoors and in the elements or something like that. But now that it's in studio, I'm really gonna have to think about the fashion a lot more and makeup and everything. So this is gonna be really interesting. Okay, but it could have been worse for the first go. So we're just gonna take what we've got here and we're gonna do our best. That's all we can kind of hope for. So now I have to take what the random generator has given me and I'm going to go and make a mood board now. So you guys will see a few clips of me putting that together. I'm also going to have to style the shoot, so I need to go to maybe some secondhand stores and get some clothing. You'll also see a little bit of that. And I actually need to organize this shoot now. So this is going to be all down to my interpretation of this particular brief and what's been given to me. And hopefully I can really do it justice and we can really take this challenge head on and see what we come up with. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, so let's get into the planning. Hey guys, so I have just finished doing my mood board. I found it quite difficult to try and communicate a theme that I really wanted with this. I'd found a couple of inspiration images initially and then sort of struggled to find a lot of other ones to go with it. So it really did take me a while to compile a mood board in the end. But I'm going to show you guys on screen now my mood board. And as you'll see, I've really tried to pull a lot of images from proper fashion editorials from Vogue and Harper's Bazaar and Elle and things like that. So I really wanted to get that high-end feel to the imagery and really convey a point across with those images. The only problem with a lot of the inspo images as well is that I found that a lot of them have more of a beauty sort of theme than a fashion sort of theme. Like I said, it was hard to kind of come up with something in studio that has that wild red bright colored theme. And I didn't really find a lot in that way. But you'll see on screen that I've got a lot of images with a red theme, and I really want to convey a very strong, bold red look with the images. I'm hoping that's what I'll get to be able to do, depending on the clothing that I can actually pick out as well. But overall, I really want a bit of color blocking. I want really bright colors and bold colors in the shots, and primarily warm colors I would like. I have spoke briefly to the makeup artist that I have on board now for this shoot, and we seem to be really on the same page with what we're kind of going for makeup wise as well. I don't think it's going to be anything too crazy, but more like color blocking, as I was saying before, and similar to sort of the images that we've got here in the mood board. So hopefully everything does go along very smoothly. I'm hoping that the shopping goes along very smoothly as well. I don't know how that's going to go, but we'll see what kind of clothing I can come up with. And hopefully this mood board really conveys everything that I'm after with a wild shoot. Like for me, with my take on this particular brief, I really wanted it to be wild in the sense of like freedom and a lot of beautiful bold colors, and that's kind of what I wanted. Like I said, I think it would have been easier to do this outside where we had wind and we had a lot of elements to work with, but that's okay. We're going to do it in studio and we're going to see how that goes. But I do think with my take on this shoot, I really wanted to have wild in the sense of really bold, bright, out there colors, and something maybe with flowers as well. I really want to add flowers into the shoot. If we can get wind in there as well to kind of like create a bit more movement, I think that would be great too, because I think that that gives the images like a different mood again. And I'm really hoping to get a red veil as well, so we can kind of play with wind and things like that too, and see how that goes. But I hope you guys can kind of see the overall vibe I'm going for with this shoot now, and you can see my kind of take on a wild shoot. It's not the typical wild patterns or anything like that maybe some people would think of, like conventionally wild kind of stuff or typically wild themes, but I wanted to do my take on what I feel like a wild shoot could be, and hopefully you guys can see this coming across in the mood board. You'll also just see as well, apart from the mood board, my actual Pinterest board that I started on before I compiled everything into a mood board. So you'll see a lot of different images there of what I have really taken on board for this shoot, and some other interesting little images and themes and vibes that I want to kind of get with the shoot as well, but I didn't feel was super necessary to actually include on the mood board itself. So this mood board is mainly for hopefully securing a model very soon, and for the makeup artist and I to sort of discuss over, but all of these other images are just kind of ideas that I had as well compiled onto Pinterest first. So you guys will see a few of those there, and hopefully a little bit more of an accurate picture overall of what the shoot may actually look like. So I've just gotten to the mall and I'm about to go and see what kind of outfits I can come up with for this particular shoot. You guys would have seen the mood board that I've created so far, so I'm hoping to go off that and hopefully get something that will really be picked up by wind quite easily enough. I am working in studio though, and in my studio it's not super big, so I can't really do too many glamorous full body length shots in certain positions. We'll just have to be a little bit careful about how those sort of shots turn out, but I'm gonna try my best to find some outfits now, and hopefully I've got luck on my side today. Hey guys, so I've just been in at the mall and I've been shopping for some items today for the shoot. I think I've picked a really hard theme, because looking through some of the stores here in the town where I currently live, there's not a lot of high-end stores that do have a lot of editorial looking clothing and stuff that does have that bit more of a high-end vibe. So that's been a little bit of a struggle. I have been after a very flouncy kind of airy dress, something with big sleeves and something that's quite bold and bright. And I haven't found much in the way of that. I've managed to find one though, one dress today, and you will see it quickly in a clip that I've taken in the store, but I haven't actually gotten anything to go along with it yet. So I'll show you guys the color of that just quickly. So that's quite a bold orange color and it's amazing. Like, I can't wait to show you guys the dress in person and actually on the shoot day. So I really think that that's going to work. It's just going to be a matter of actually seeing if I can get anything to match in with it. And I am going shopping on Tuesday, potentially in Sydney, so I'm hoping that I'll find a few more pieces then that I think will really suit the look of the shoot. I really wanted to do more than just one look with this because it is an editorial challenge, and editorial is usually more than one look, so it's usually a series of looks and a theme. So I want to challenge myself, I want to stick to these goals and see what I come up with. But yeah, I think you guys are going to have to wish me luck with this, because I think this is actually going to be a harder challenge than what I thought it was going to be. I'm not used to shopping for fashion anymore, so we'll see what we come up with on Tuesday as well, and I will keep you guys updated. Hi guys, so I've just been into another mall actually. So from my other shopping trip the other day, I actually went out again on a different day, which is today, and I tried to find some other outfits to go for this shoot because I was really struggling in my hometown to find anything. I also struggled today to find anything in red at the moment. It's not a super big summer color at the moment, and Australia just doesn't like red right now. So unfortunately I was unable to get anything like the mood board that I had, so I really had to pivot a little bit with the styling and just kind of go for something that had a bit more of a color contrast to the orange dress that I bought the other day. So I actually chose a color contrast of purple because that does contrast really well, and I'm going to try and work in the red from my mood board into the shoot in different ways, and maybe into the background, into maybe having a red veil, just a few different ways that I can kind of incorporate the really bold red color that I wanted. So if you guys can see in my bag today, this is kind of like what I'm working with at the moment. So I've got like purples, orange and yellow, and that's to go with my color contrast of the orange the other day, and they sort of all work together really well that way. So I'm hoping that this shoot is going to go well with the styling. I am not a stylist and I haven't done this in a long time, so I feel like it was a very stressful day for me, but you know what? It was a challenge, and that's what I set out to do with this series. So we're just gonna see how it all turns out on the day. guys, so today is the day of the shoot and I'm really excited. This is our lovely team for today. So we've got Jessica, the makeup artist. Hi. And hairstylist for today. And we've got Eliza, our model. So these guys have done an awesome job in getting ready today and we are going to push forward with the shoot now. We've got a lot of makeshift stuff going on. As I said, it's going to be a really big challenge to try and get the editorial wild theme that I had in mind, but we're going to do our best and fingers crossed everything goes well. So today I'm going to be using my Octabox with a double diffusion. So I've got the interior diffusion sheet here and then I've also got this one on the exterior, and hopefully that's going to give me some really moody lighting. I haven't experimented much with moody lighting before and I really wanted to on this shoot because we are going for quite a wild theme, but I feel like it'll be a really good contrast to have some very dimly lit moody lighting against a red backdrop too, and I think that's going to be the perfect time to experiment with this today. This is the only light I'm going to be using so far. I may have to add an extra light in for fill, but we'll see how it goes. I may try and take some full body shots as well, obviously being a fashion editorial look. So then I'm probably going to have to add an extra light in, but we'll see how the shoot progresses and fingers crossed that this modifier is going to do the job because hopefully it's going to be big enough. And guys, this is my makeshift V-flats for today. Unfortunately, I don't have any foam in here yet. I've only got some leftovers from when a mirror was brought in and they actually make for really good reflector sheets, but unfortunately I don't have anything with a darker side. So I really want to absorb some of the light as well that I do have coming through with the Octabox, and this is probably the perfect way to do it at the moment since I really don't have any other option. Obviously it's not really high though, so I'm just going to have to be very careful with how I position the shots and make sure it's probably only on the shots where the model is sitting down, and we'll see how we go with that. Beautiful, and then looking into the camera lens, amazing. Lips open a little bit, like parted. Yep, perfect. Beautiful. Yeah, no, do it. We'll just see what works. We just need some wind. And chin down a little bit. And chin up a little bit. And kind of like, you can do something with your mouth that looks shocked or beautiful. That's great. Hi again guys, so I have just finished the photo shoot and we had a great time doing it. It wasn't exactly how I thought it was going to go ahead in certain aspects, and there was a lot of swapping and changing, which often happens on photo shoots at last minute. We tried to create a lot of movement within the shots, so you'll see us kind of using a lot of wind in the shots and trying to get the fabric moving. I found for the most part though, I was struggling to switch over to fashion portraits from beauty and close-up portraiture. I'm so used to doing that, so give me a break guys, like don't come for me yet. This is my first challenge into doing more of a fashion editorial, which is what this one was supposed to be. So I feel like I did okay in certain aspects, but I think next time that I do a fashion editorial, I'd really like to focus more on really getting those full body shots. It is a little bit difficult in here because I don't have a lot of room to move around for full body, and especially with the backdrops that I had, I didn't invest too much into getting a paper backdrop this time. I actually got a couple of fabric backdrops just from my local Spotlight store, which is like a fabric store and sewing store. And I actually just got a couple of canvas fabric slices from there, and unfortunately it only really comes in 1.5 meter width, so it's quite good for portraits and mid-length but not so much for full body, so that's kind of where I struggled to do a lot more fashion full-length portraits. The other thing that I struggled with a little bit on this shoot, I think, was the styling. So you guys would have seen me picking up the outfits myself. I'm not a stylist by any means, but I felt like I could try and really push myself this time around to style my own shoot and to pick out some colors that I thought might contrast well with the backdrop and really kind of create that scheme. And I think we did that in the end, although some of the pieces that I ended up getting were just not that editorial feel. But I think, you know, if I'm being really hard on myself, this was a fun photo shoot. This was for fun. This is a challenge and to really push myself outside of my boundaries. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did like it, please let me know in the comment section below, and if you want to see more of this series, please let me know as well. Let me know which shot is your favorite, because we did a series of different outfit looks. There was about 4 different outfits, and yeah, so let me know which one was your favorite and which one you think looked the best. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please click the subscribe button and the notification bell to make sure you see all the videos that I have in future, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!